Hi everyone, welcome back to Shireen's Art Corner. Today I wanted to share a technique with you guys on applying gold leaf on tissue paper using laser printer and a heat press. This technique will not work for an inkjet printer, it is only for a laser printer. Alright, so for this project we will need a sheet of tissue paper. I usually purchase mine from the Dollar Tree. You can use any color. Here I'm using white. So whatever project that you're doing, if you wanted to use a colored tissue paper, that will work fine. So the first thing we're going to have to do is take the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and place it on top of the tissue, and you're going to cut around that paper enough where you can fold around the edges and apply the tissue paper to the paper with tape. And this 8.5 by 11 will be our carrier sheet because the tissue paper is too thin to feed through the laser printer by itself. We will need to attach it to that sheet of paper. One disclaimer is that this is not something that you would normally put through a laser printer, so please do this at your own discretion. I've had paper jams in the past where the tissue paper ripped off inside, so it is kind of a pain. But if you do secure the tissue paper nicely on the carrier sheet, you really shouldn't have any issues, but laser printers are expensive, so I just wanted to put that disclaimer on there. Once I fold it over, on the other side you'll see I cut out a notch, and that's where the laser printer feeds the paper through. I didn't realize it does it on the other end as well, so just like I'm cutting this notch out, you want to do the same kind of notch on the opposite side, on the other side of that sheet. And so once you do this, you're going to put your settings on your printer for thick paper when you do this, the page settings, because you want that toner to really be infused onto the tissue paper. So you're going to use a heavier setting for paper on your laser printer, and then I'm going to feed it through the automatic filter. I don't know what it's called, the tray 1, where it feeds one sheet at a time instead of putting it into my paper tray. So I'll put it in there and put it to print. Here you'll see it kind of snagged on the other side because I didn't cut out that notch, so just make sure you do it on both ends when you do secure that tissue paper down. Once the print comes out, you are ready for the next step, which is taking your gold leaf. Again, you can use any color that you have and just place it on top of that paper. This will not apply the gold leaf yet. We're just placing it on top of the paper, and then we are going to use the heat press to heat up the toner and then kind of infuse that gold leaf on top of that toner. In the meantime, I'm going to turn on my heat press, set it to 350, and set the timer for 30 seconds. And once I'm done with the gold leaf, I'm going to you can use a Teflon sheet on top, parchment paper, or another sheet of paper. I just use 2 sheets of paper on top of the gold leaf before I apply the heat press, so I don't damage the heat press with the gold leaf. Again, we're going to use medium pressure with the heat press. I have the Cricut heat press, so I'm going to just kind of push down medium force on it for 30 seconds. Try not to move it around. If you don't get the entire 8.5 by 11 covered in one go, you can move the heat press once the 30 seconds is over and press it again. You can do that several times. Here you'll see some of my gold leaf moved, so I'm just going to take some of the excess gold leaf and put it on top of the area that did not get the gold leaf adhered, and apply my heat press again. Once this part is done, you want to make sure that the sheet is completely cooled down before you start rubbing away. So here I'm just taking my fingers and just kind of burnishing on the gold leaf to make sure that it's attached nicely, but don't start wiping away the gold leaf until that paper is completely dry. Otherwise it'll just come off, and it usually takes 30-40 seconds to cool down, so it doesn't take that long. Once it does cool down, initially I took a brush to do it, but it was taking too long, so I just took a piece of dry paper towel and just started rubbing the excess gold leaf off. There I have a little helper. Once you start rubbing it, you'll start seeing your design come through, and it really is a time-saving technique. I do a lot of mixed media art, and I try to add a lot of gold accents, but this really helps me save a lot of time by creating these intricate designs in the gold leaf that I can apply to my mixed media projects. You don't have to use tissue paper. I could have just easily put my carrier sheet in, just a blank sheet of paper, print it on that, and do the same step. So I can create art prints with gold accents on it. You can also put in a thick cardstock and create cards with gold accents on it. So there's definitely a lot of things that you can do if you have a laser printer and a heat press. They are some cool things that, some projects that you can definitely do with this idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I will have a new video up soon.